Good morning, this is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
The South Dakota Division of Criminal Investigation is reviewing a second officer-involved shooting in Sioux Falls so far this year.
This was the scene on the corner of 14th Street and Minnesota Avenue around 3:30 Wednesday morning. Police say a suspect was holding employees hostage inside and shot at officers.
SWAT teams were deployed and negotiations were attempted, but things escalated. Sioux Falls Police Chief John Toome says a deputy with the Minnehaha County SWAT team shot the suspect with a sniper rifle. The suspect was pronounced dead at the scene.
Just want to highlight, again, great cooperation between the Sioux Falls Police Department and Minnehaha County Sheriff's Office. When a request for aid goes out or assistance goes out, we respond unified and well together to really bring about resolutions. Obviously, we seek peaceful resolutions, but oftentimes we're forced to act on what takes place in front of us.
The case has now been turned over to the South Dakota Division of Criminal Investigation. The suspect identified as 26-year-old Daniel Augustine, and he was known by law enforcement.
Attorney General Marty Jackley says his office will look at all the evidence in the case to determine if the use of force was justified.
I have a policy that typically within 30 days we will release a detailed report talking about how the circumstances arose, looking at and talking about the different pieces of evidence.
There was a large police presence at the gas station throughout most of the morning Wednesday, and the parking lot was still taped off late into the afternoon and into this morning.
The Mitchell Baseball Association is speaking out for the first time since 6 players on the American Legion team were charged with rape. A media representative says the association is happy with the plea agreements, but doesn't think the players should have been charged with rape in the first place. The association told KELOLAND News in part, quote, "Did the boys do something wrong? Yes. Should they be punished? Yes. Should they have been charged with rape? We felt no," unquote. You can read more of the response and the future for Mitchell Legion Baseball in a KELOLAND.com original by Gracie Terrell. Now let's check in with meteorologist Scott Munn. Sounds like a wet 4th of July holiday, Scott.
Yeah, it's starting that way, central, north central, and into northeastern South Dakota. We've been following the showers and thunderstorms this morning. Temperatures will remain cool with mostly cloudy skies and periods of rain. Expect highs in the 60s and 70s. I'll have more details on your KELOLAND Live Doppler forecast coming up.
Thank you, Scott. Well, the day before the 4th of July is typically one of the busiest air travel days in the country. Sioux Falls Regional Airport expected more than 2,000 people to be flying out of the airport. Sunday will be another busy day as people return from their holiday destinations. To make your flight go as smoothly as possible, it's important to pack smart, especially for parents with young kids.
Last minute you have to realize, oh, I have to pack a car seat and a booster seat and pull-up stuff, all the things you don't think of as an adult, and you're like, oh man, I gotta keep them busy too.
With more people traveling for the summer, the airport recommends showing up a good 90 minutes before your flight.
Crews recently completed work on the diverging diamond at the intersection of I-29 and 41st Street in Sioux Falls. It's only the second interchange of its kind in South Dakota, but one driver we talked with says that it should not take long for people to get the hang of it.
Yeah, I think they'll get used to it. It's, you know, they just have to be careful going through the first times and get used to it. But yep, I love the traffic flow and it keeps going.
4 more diverging diamond interchanges are planned or under construction, with 3 of them being in the Sioux Falls area.
A fireworks stand just outside of Rowena, South Dakota is helping a local nonprofit. Owners Barry and Gina Bakken are donating 20% of all proceeds to the Sioux Empire Pink Ladies. So far, they've had a steady stream of customers.
It's pretty slow the first few days, and then it picks up. It gets really crazy. Some days it's been a challenge because we've been doing it since our kids were really tiny.
You can find their stand just off of Highway 42 west of Rowena. And that's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Scott Munn. Scott?
All right, for today, we'll continue to follow the showers, thunderstorms, especially in the northeastern South Dakota, where locally heavy rainfall cannot be ruled out. I could easily see some areas at least an inch of rainfall in northeastern South Dakota, as you do see these thunderstorms continuing around the noon hour, even going into the afternoon and evening. Eastern, southeastern Kettleland will start to see these scattered showers, thunderstorms roll through. And then I think a lot of that comes to an end as we go into the early part of tonight. But our rainfall outlook for today, highlighting parts of central to northeastern South Dakota. You know, any of these thunderstorms that do develop will contain some locally heavy rainfall. And I would say anywhere in blue, you have a chance to see at least an inch of rain for this afternoon through this evening. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s will remain cool today as low pressure will slowly move to the east. We'll continue with mostly cloudy skies, periods of rain. As we get into tomorrow, I think we'll start dry, then look what happens. We'll bubble up these scattered showers and thunder showers during the day. More widespread rain on the way for the first half of the weekend. You see that covering eastern South Dakota during the late afternoon and evening, stretching into Minnesota and northwestern Iowa. Well, attached to that low as it continues to move to the east is that slight risk for severe weather in the Minnesota and northern Iowa. I think after this weekend, we lose a lot of the moisture. A lot of that deep level moisture will be found to our southeast. As we get into next week, we'll go with drier conditions and temperatures will eventually warm. I think western South Dakota has a pretty good chance to see numbers return to the 90s just beyond the 7-day forecast, and will bring in those warmer temperatures probably as we get into next weekend. Here's that forecast. In the meantime, today temperatures will be well below average with highs in the 60s and 70s. Tonight, temperatures will fall to the 50s to near 60 degrees, as we'll have drying conditions as we go through the overnight. And for tomorrow, temperatures will reach the 70s to near 80 degrees. You can always check the details of the 7-day forecast while you're here online. Have a great 4th of July.